Greetings, everyone. It's the Man United Agenda, and yes, we are going to talk about this result today. We are through to the final, but we're not happy. We're not happy, no doubt about it. Bath time, Dora and Kahinde are in the house. Guys, just quick summary. Bath time. What do you want to discuss tonight, and how you? It's just quickly. Ten Hag in or out after today? What do you want to discuss? And Ten Hag in or out? And we pass it on.
I've been Ten Hag out on Monday since the summer, as you know. I'm interested in what people think about that game, because I'm actually of the opinion that this might not be on Ten Hag, that this is more players than Ten Hag, because we were 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go. We're in complete control of the game. If it was a boxing match, we just jabbed them. You know, we kept the ball at the back, we scored our goals, we jabbed them. I thought it was all fine. And then my friend and yours, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and that fat pudding from Brazil combined to produce some, I don't know what that was. It was like a pantomime. I'm absolutely disgusted by pretty much everything that went on after Casemiro just decided that he wasn't going to mark a man in the box. Ridiculous.
Dora, over to you. Ten Hag in or out, and what do you want to discuss after that performance?
Then, all out, all in, all out. Shake it all about. It's the same thing with Ten Hag. I've been Ten Hag out since Christmas. I mean, I've been really mad during the game. I blamed the manager. I thought that the subs were not good. I think we put our foot off the gas too early, because Coventry did this already to Wolverhampton. They've been doing this throughout the whole cup, their whole cup journey. They're always, really passionate, and they simply want to win more than the other team. Hence why they are, here where they are. They were in the semifinals of the FA Cup against us, and and you know what? Throughout the whole season, not United's advantage is never good. It's never good. I don't care if we are 4-0 up. It's never safe. And today it was a great example of that. But I agree mostly with Ten Hag. I think that the players shed the bed awfully. Some of them are disgraceful, and I honestly don't want to see them next season. But yeah, I would put it on the players, but I would put it on the manager and the coaching staff as well, because there is a clear disconnect in the locker room. Even after the game, no one is celebrating with the manager. They all sighed in relief. They're not even celebrating anything, and they shouldn't celebrate anything, because this was an embarrassment of a game from them. But no one even smile a bit. Only Onana and Rasmus, celebrated a bit after that save and scoring that last pen. I just feel like no one is really happy with today's game, and you know what? They shouldn't be. They should be embarrassed by, ashamed of themselves and what they and how they performed today.
So you want to discuss shaming them today on the show?
Yes.
Kinde, yeah. Kinde, Ten Hag in or out? Simple as that. And what do you want to discuss? Anything particularly you want to discuss about the performance today in general?
I can't really answer that question at the moment, bro. It's too soon to say, because if he goes on and beats City in the final of the FA Cup, everyone's going to forget about the season and, start thinking about our transfer window and say, blah, blah, blah. I think just wait to the end of the season. At the moment, I was just not happy with the substitutions he made today, because we need to kind of control that game. And some people might think a 3-0 lead is very comfortable. But the players that he brought on, it was like a lack of discipline. Like players like Anthony and things like that. You can't really bring a player on, I don't think, because Garnacho was like our best player through the counter-attack. He was hurting them. And I didn't agree with some of the substitutions. And Eriksen doesn't really have the legs for a game like Coventry either. So I think that kind of let Coventry back in the game. But we got away with it, but it was embarrassing. But to be fair, I've been looking at our side, the defence. We've got a lot of players playing out of position. Like Wan-Bissaka's playing left back. I'm not defending him, but he's playing left back when he shouldn't be. I still don't know why Ten Hag doesn't put Dalot left back and Wan-Bissaka right back. I don't understand, because Dalot could play both. He's a bit better with both feet. Played left back for Milan. And we've got Casemiro playing centre back with Maguire. So it's a bit of a makeshift defence, and it's a lack of balance. So it doesn't surprise me when we can't really control games. That's how I felt about it today.
All right, so Bath Time is saying that even though he thinks Ten Hag should be out, he thinks the players are responsible today. Dora just wants to shame the players today. And Kahinde, you're just saying basically that you think we should wait till the end of the season before we make a decision about the thing, and you want to talk, and you think the issue today was the substitutions, even though we're 3-0 up, and you're a manager as well. We'll come on to that as well. But before we do, I want to say hi to everyone in the comments. Give them a wave. We've got loads of people tuning in, no doubt about it. 27 watching right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do the whole following thing. You know it go. Big up Matthew Bassett. How you doing? Just want to say before we do, Stuart Marshall. He's at Wembley today. United fan. He travels from Essex to United every week. Proper Man United agenda, right, as well. He was at the game today, sent me pictures. I will be posting them up a bit later. So big up to Stuart. Big up Matthew Bassett from Brummie. Big up to Andrew Williams. Shameful again. We are a laughing stock. So he's in Dora's camp, no doubt about it. Bill Badger as well. Players, we're not coached to control a game. Good point. I can't celebrate a win. I'm exhausted watching prime tits, everyone. Bill Badger, how you doing in the house? He's shattered. Yes, SHIT houses. There you go. You can read it for yourself. Ratcliffe ran a marathon today, 4 hours, 20 minutes. He done. That's fantastic. I couldn't do that. And he came to the game and sat there and witnessed something like that. That's from Bart. Dropping quality after subbing off the teams was incredible. He agrees with you there, Kahinde. Big G's in the house. He must go now for me. Says, talking about Ten Hag, 3-0 league. He makes stupid subs and we nearly lose it. So he's agreeing with everyone on the panel. I'm just going to quickly go through these because we have to get on with the show. Totally agree with Bart. Anthony is proper SHIT. That's one of his boys. See you later, Anthony. Gone as well. There's a few people who want out of the club, according to the comments. I want to say hi to Solo. He's saying, why are we waiting? I'll tell you why, because certain people turning up late on arrival now. We're here now. That's all that matters. Sorry, bro. And guess Ten Hag's in charge of you guys. He's having a good old giggle at our expense. Thanks, Solo. Just moving down, I want to say hi to Colin as well. Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're doing well. He wants him out. Simon Warner, how you doing, bro? Good evening. Not a great match. Simon Warner saying out. We were asked the question. Here we go. Third final for Ten Hag. Says we deserve better. Third final. 2 FA Cup last season, League Cup. We won, and we are now in the FA Cup final again. And that's better than Fergie in his first 5 years. Don't know what you guys feel about that. 2 FA Cup finals in 2 years. Not too bad, is it? Penn shouldn't have happened. Anana again, says Simon Warner. And we take the effing win, says we deserve better. All right, let's move. Did I see my man Tyrone Williams? He's saying here, tonight I finally lost my patience with Ten Hag. Struggled against Coventry in the semi-final. Is unacceptable. I'm sorry, we spent too much money. Rashford needs to be sold ASAP. Shocking again. Casemiro, penalty was a disgrace. Totally unacceptable. Big G saying here, Ajax or team in Saudi, but I cancel my lads. I cancelled the lad's contract. Anthony is SHIT. There you go. We said better say thanks for that pudding. 109 minutes defensive block. We are through. Okay. And who else is here? Double A. How you doing, Double A? I see the words embarrassment here from Tony, from Tyrone. Sorry. Can we have not a sausage blaming the players today? We know we are SHIT, but the manager once again gets exposed. Want to say say hi to Pat in VA. How you doing? He says, I'm tired of it all. Hi, folks. Okay. And UK Strange, last one saying disgrace. You heard it there, guys. That's the feeling of the comments. Let's start. I mean, come on. We had a good first half. A really good first half. We went 3-0 up by half time. Shall we talk about the goals, Dora? Can you get them up? First one was scored after 23 minutes. And it was an overlapping run by my man, my favourite guy at the moment, Dalot. And he got played in and played a wicked ball. And as our very own Bath Time, come to you first, Bath Time. Our very own Bath Time always says that McTominay makes forward-style runs. And he certainly did again and left Holland hanging and showed him how to finish his dinner. Bath Time.
Is he alive?
Hello, sorry. I know we're all excited about the goals and that, but I don't know if this is really where we should be starting. I think to be honest, we should be focusing on what went wrong in the second half. Like,
Let's rewind.
I don't want to push my agenda here, but I don't really care about McTominay's goal or like Bruno and like Maguire's header, lovely, really good goal. But I think it's more important to look at what went wrong, because I personally am of the opinion that if you stop the game at the 70th minute and you look at it as just one, like you look at it as like just one session, I think that everyone played pretty well except for the three forwards. Like in terms of Rashford, dreadful. Rasmus, dreadful. Garnacho, dreadful. All of them were crap today. And yet, apparently, it's the substitution that has caused the problem of Garnacho coming off. And people are whinging about subs. So I want to know what people think we lost when we took Garnacho off.
Well, Kahinde, you were saying about the subs. So, yeah, can you answer that?
Well, the thing is with Garnacho, it's like he's very good. He's very direct, just running a counter attack. And against a team like Coventry, it hurt them a lot. I felt that the runs that he was making, and he was an outlet for us. When you bring Anthony on, he kind of slows the game down. He's predictable, and because he's predictable, he loses the ball, and it gives them opportunity to counter attack. And that's what I was seeing a lot of the time. But Garnacho is actually dangerous, as in he runs at players, he wins corners, he makes something happen. Even if he doesn't, I'm not saying he was exceptional today, but he was an outlet for us. And Anthony just made us like, it made everything go wrong, because he didn't produce anything, and he slows the game down, and he keeps losing the ball and giving.
So you put it all on Anthony?
No, I'm not putting it all on Anthony. I'm saying that the substitution wasn't wise. I wouldn't have brought Anthony on in that game, but at the same time, it was 3-0. You would have thought it would be safe, but I don't know.
Like
Eriksen, you would think. Yeah, and I think you would think Eriksen, he opens up the game a bit and all that, but against a team like Coventry, you've got the legs and the fight and everything else like that, and he doesn't really have the legs anymore. And I just don't think it was a good, productive substitution, because they were still fighting, and that's how they've got this far to the semi-final. There's a lot of running, hard running, all of that, and he doesn't have it. So,
Dora,
Dora,
why do people make substitutions? Can you give, like, Kahinde's and Bath are bumping heads on this one? What's your opinion? Because Garnacho was vexed when he came off. You can see clearly, not being petulant, but just disappointed, because he's got that attitude. He wants to be on the pitch. He wants to demonstrate that to all the fans. But what's the purpose of having substitutions, 5 subs, if you're not going to use them?
Well, first of all, I'm tired of Alejandro Garnacho, a 19-year-old. Like, cool, he's been good this season. He's a talent, but he needs to chill out and sit in his corner and be a Manchester United player, not a petulant child. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, you didn't do anything. You haven't won anything. Okay, maybe Caracas. You know what I mean, right? You are still young. You are just getting started. You need to learn your place. And I'm tired of, petulant shit every time he gets subbed off. I don't think he was the difference maker. The only difference maker was him kickstarting a counterattack on the third goal. That's my opinion. That's what I saw. Throughout the whole game, I'm seeing petulance from the starting, attackers, as Beth mentioned. With the subs, after the third goal, I could see that the intensity started falling, started steadily falling down. This was probably a tactical decision. Of course, when you are 3-0 up against Coventry at 65th minute, of course, you're going to make changes, start putting out or getting off the players who are already tired, and maybe balance something up in the midfield. However, you could clearly see when Mainu got off, I thought that Mainu and McTominay were really good today in that midfield. I really felt like they were good today. However, when you get them off, you get Eriksen and McTominay. Now, the whole leg stuff, I agree with Yuki Honda. I agree with because he obviously likes it. And of course, when you have Coventry who are chasing the result, who are trying to, use their want and will and passion to scrape out the result against the team that is obviously, how do you say, decreasing the intensity after being 3-0 up. They already did that against Wolverhampton already, so they're not unfamiliar with that. They already did that in the previous fixture in the cup. So I mean, I get it, but I just felt like I know maybe this is about a temperamental Balkan thing coming out of me, because of course you're going to be pragmatical and rational and all that. I just felt we could have, if we tried a bit, just at least one goal. I just wanted at least one goal to break their backs, to showcase we are a better team, we deserve to be in that final, and just put them down. Just put them down. But I just felt that the players, they were complacent. The manager told them, you know what, you can balance it out, you can pass it out, you can have more possession. But I felt that they overdid it. And then, of course, the unforced errors of the individuals, we will talk about it. Arama Bissaka, once again, bottling it by the end of the game. This is the third time that he's already did it. He did it against Chelsea. He did it against Liverpool. He's doing it right now. And then you have Casemiro, who's been strolling around the pitch, around any pitch in the Great Britain, United Kingdom, in England throughout the whole season since their first game. He's been just strolling around. So it is a collective, effort. I don't feel that the subs necessarily killed our game. I just felt that the players just got too complacent. They don't know how to control the game.
Yes,
we are trying to balance it out, and you know what? It's a shared responsibility. Ten Hag needs to tell them, you know what? If you cannot, we are obviously a transitional team. We are not with the possession all the time, but just tell them, just teach them something and tell them you need to control it better. If they are running at you, find the solution. But of course, they're just rolling around and throwing tantrums or whatever. I'm just disappointed in this team. In all honesty,
your point about Casemiro, I agree. Tomorrow night we're doing a show. Halftime is hosting about centre backs, so maybe Casemiro needs to watch that show, because I thought, for man of experience, should have played a bit better today. He's a bit whack playing the centre back. All right, you brought up his points. Let me just do these comments.
All right.
I don't think it actually was that bad to Tyrone. It was a good outlet on the break, similar to what Kinde said. Andrew saying Mainu was the only disciplined defender, midfielder. Tyrone saying here, spot on about Haaland and Rashford. They were both being poor, but Gacho did well on the right. Gets back to help Dallo, did the bare minimum. Andrew Williams saying here, Rasmus was a joke. He has done nothing since coming back. Obviously, he was injured. The maid who changed the 4-1, his legs have gone. He's a liability, says Tyrone. Big G saying here, I think the players have a better relationship with Garnacho than Anthony. I honestly think players see Anthony coming on and think, oh Christ, it's numpty. Big up to James, how you doing? He says he comes off and Rashford stays on. So obviously he thought that Rashford should have came off instead.
Agreed.
We got Simon Warner saying if McTominay's sub had scored, and they very nearly did, would have been headlines as well. I want to say hi to Agile Beast. Wan-Bissaka was terrible. Grease you, Dora. Did you see his air tackle on the offside goal? Doesn't he stay in the defensive lineup like at Brentford? Can't use his left foot. CRAP. James, apology accepted. Look, we're all feeling emotional after what happened in there. He says, sorry, so angry. Always blame the players. Eric Ten Hag is the problem. So this is clear. We need to have a discussion about it. Let's talk about it. Simon Warner saying, City will no doubt want to retain the trophy after Champions League exit. We have 5 weeks, guys, to try and get our players fit. Like a training camp, isn't it? That's what Tyson Fury will be going in. In 5 weeks, he's got the championship title. So, come back to you, Bart. You brought this up about defending the manager and talking about the substitutions. Do you want to wrap this one up?
I'm beginning to change my mind a little bit as I think a bit more, which is that Casemiro, right? Like, we know his mobility issues. He should be doing better in so many situations, but is having Eriksen as the player in front of him, like bringing Eriksen on, who we all agree doesn't have mobility either, and having both of them on the right hand side, there's something wrong there, isn't there? Right, it's a really, really poor substitution because it exposes the big problem that we had in our team, which is defending transitions. So I'm beginning to now agree more that substitutions might have changed the game, but I don't think that it was Rashford staying on or Anthony coming on. I think that the introduction of Eriksen has put so much pressure on a makeshift defence, and Ten Hag should probably have like really concentrated on that. And I think McTominay might be injured. Like, he played about 110 minutes coming back from injury, which is far too much. But and I know Amrabat is out, and I know that Mount is out. But I mean, could we have put Delo into? There must have been another thing that we could have done. The manager's paid to do things, and I'm now starting to think that I might be wrong on this, because although we were in control of the game at 3-0, you can't tell me that after Eriksen came on, that's when the chances started coming. That's when we saw Casemiro getting exposed over and over again. And all those Wan-Bissaka mistakes came because of balls coming from the left-hand side, their left, which is where Eriksen and Casemiro should have been defending. So I'd be interested to know what you think about that, Amondo. Me
personally, look, overall, we can go into detail about certain factors of the game which made it. But the bottom line is we were 3-0 up, and the manager and everyone else, we watching at home, everyone at the stadium, big up Stuart Marshall at the stadium, everyone else must have thought, game done. You want to run out? Go and have a run out. If you want to bring people on, like Kahinde, you must agree with me to this. Our Sunday side we play for, you manage the side as well. Sometimes you want to keep everyone happy and say, I'll bring you on when the game's not tight. We've got a couple players on Sunday, you bring them on. All right, I'll give you a game. If we're winning 3-4-0, you can come on, get 20 minutes or something. That was the opportunity today to do that. And he did it. And there's no manager in the world would envisage that we would come back and be, on our knees, and a last-minute goal which could have knocked us out. You saw them guys when that goal was scored, which was disallowed right at the end. Every man dropped to their knees in despair. They knew we're getting it, and it's thank God that there was an offside, because they would have felt shame. Every one of them players would have a statue about shame, because that would be the biggest embarrassment. 3-0 up and you go and throw it away. That's not on the manager, that's on the players. I don't care who comes on the pitch. They're all professional players. Eriksen's international with over nearly 100 caps, I'm guessing. But he's an experienced player. You can play him anywhere. He's come through the Ajax Academy. He's probably played in every position. He gets the ball, he dictates the play. I don't have any issues with the substitutions here, guys, and I don't have any issues with Ten Hag, because him, like everyone else here, must have believed, which is accepting it's true without evidence, that the game was over. Simple as that for me. Guys, Dora, Kahinde, do you agree with me? You must, because I'm talking back.
Yeah, I get it. I do understand, because I did say before that at 3-0 up, you wouldn't envisage that something like that's going to happen. But what my issue is, like, when I'm looking at the team, and Bath Time touched on another thing. Like, I'm saying Wan-Bissaka's out of position, Casemiro's out of position. He should do better, but he's playing out of position. And that's what I'm saying. It's the balance of the team. Bath Time's made a good point about saying right side, Casemiro and Eriksen, two guys that got no legs, and you're putting them in the same line of each other. So that's what things, little details that you need to be wary of. It's like McTominay was a good shout to start today, because you're playing against a team that's quite intense, that's strong, and he's one of those players that brings intensity, strength, and everything else like that. It was a good starting lineup and all that, but I just wouldn't have made those substitutions. You want to make the substitutions, of course, but he has to look at the team and look at areas. Still needs to protect certain areas of the pitch.
Dora, I mean, come on, like this substitution issue, is it really on the manager, or is it? I mean, what are we talking about here? Because I repeat what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with the manager. Dora, I know you would have said it was over. All right, and you would have said, get a run out, guys, get a run out. Yeah, you play for a while, you get a run out too. And with no qualms about it.
But I mean, look at our last four games. look at the game against Brentford, if I'm not mistaken. We fell apart in the last 10 minutes. Look at the game against Liverpool. We had it in our, like, whatever people are going to say, that pen shouldn't happen in that moment in time. Wan-Bissaka made a mistake. We could have won that game. We didn't in the end. Unforced error, once again. Chelsea, 2 goals in the stoppage time. This is absolutely atrocious, the way the mentality and just the way the players fell apart. And then the previous game, I forgot, maybe it is that Brentford game, I forgot, in all honesty, because I cannot even remember the amount of mistakes this season, how many of them happen. And now this against Coventry, who are in the championship, and they are probably 6th or 7th in the championship. And we are struggling against a team that shows just a bit of intensity. And we talked about it already. I think it's on the players and their mentality, of course. Why is Wan-Bissaka? This is his 3rd game where he is bottling it on that side. Why? And on the other hand, why Ten Hag didn't go, okay, let's try Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right, because it's obvious that that left side is not comfortable for him. Let's put Dalot where he played for Milan. I agree with Kehinde. I know that there is whole, he's playing better with Garnacho on that right side, not with. It doesn't matter, right? If the players are not comfortable, try to adapt. Try to adapt. Who let the dogs out, right? Try to adapt. But it's just so baffling to me that the players, the senior players of this team, are bottling it. Casemiro, a champion, he won 4 Champions Leagues. He's a Brazil international. He was an insane player for Real Madrid, one of the most important players in that midfield, and he's bottling it every single time. People are going to say, physicality. No, he's just brain dead at this moment in time. He's just brain dead. Wan-Bissaka, a senior player, he is not young anymore. He is 27-year-old senior player of this team. What is going on with him? He is still the same player when we signed him in 2019. And I know we don't have any choice, but try to adapt. I agree with Kehinda. Why is he not adapting? You need to know your squad. You need to know your squad's weaknesses. If you know that Eriksen doesn't have any legs, why are you insisting on putting him in that number six? Try Bruno. But I honestly believe that Bruno Fernandes would do a better job in that number 6 than Christian Eriksen. So why it feels to me that the players are bottling it, because on the one side they just don't have it in them. They're just weak mentally. But on the other side, they don't believe in Ten Hag. They don't believe in his system, and they always anticipate that 10 less minutes, and they are dreading it, and they're just bottling it every single time. And Ten Hag isn't helping himself with his sometimes tactical decisions. I agree with Bedtime and even with you, Omondi, that the players are, to me, if you look at it, subs aren't necessarily the moment that everything fell apart. It's just that the players just got too complacent and they didn't understand the stakes in this game. And you know what? I will be, the typical me, on the fence, and I will say it's a bit of everything. I think this game emphasizes our season perfectly well.
You know what, Dora, I'm going to read some comments. I want you guys to think about something. 2 issues that I sit here brought up all the time, and they were exposed today. We can see too many shots on our goal, and I think today we conceded 18. It's usually the average is about 20. And the other thing is, I'm going to come onto the comments as well. And the other thing is, tick, 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 tick. Let me read some comments out. That's what I was going to do. All right. Big up to DK Wilson. He's saying, a Monday fact is United don't have 3 players, exclude Kobe and Onana, who would start in the top Premier League teams. Simon Warner saying here, never underestimate a lower league team. United have played 52 lower league sides in the cup and won 51 prior to this. The other thing I was going to say, so first things first, think about this. Why do we concede? Because we have to answer these questions. This is what we're here for. Why do we concede so many shots on our goal? Second thing is, why do we throw away leads? Is it, and I want to know as well, because I need to sort of transfer that to my Sunday team. Copenhagen, Chelsea, 2 examples where we've thrown away the lead again. So why are we doing this, guys? What is going on? Why do we see so many shots on our goal? United love playing it out slow from the back, says Tyrone Williams, and Maguire pretends to be Beckenbauer. Is embarrassing. He's not pretending he's doing well, I thought, bringing the ball forward. Double A saying Wan-Bissaka was unlucky with the handball. Grealish one yesterday against Chelsea was worse, and it wasn't given. Simon Warner saying our defence is like a sieve. We've never seen so many leaks. DK Wilson again is saying, I actually agree. I was being generous. We have Anthony, who's the 7th highest paid player on the team, and he was offered for McTominay's present salary, which is 20th on the team. Casemiro is another ex-world class player. United have signed based on reputations. Sick or tired of these signings like these. Hope they are a thing of the past going forward. Want to say hi and big up to Alumba. He's saying the seniors are the biggest letdown, senior players, that is. I kind of agree with him there. We've got all the ones getting pelters are the senior players. At top clubs, players like Casemiro would be helped so his qualities shine through, says Bill Badger. His legs have gone, so put some legs around him to protect him. Think about all these guys. It was only 1 shot after 55 minutes. I was shocked. So they turned it on after 70 minutes. So something changed. What is the catalyst of change here, guys? Casemiro should, in capital letters, when DK Wilson does that, him trying to make his point, should be able to think his way through games by now. His experience should keep him on the pitch. But oddly, he doesn't seem to use his experience to make up for what he's lost physically. That's a good point, really good point there. And we can't even park the bus. All right, so bath time.
Yeah.
Kahinde, Dora. Why are we conceding? Right, not why are we conceding the shots. Let's talk about why we are letting leads slip away. Why don't we sort of keep a lead lately? And there's the examples with Chelsea, examples I think Brentford as well, and Copenhagen. We were Galatasaray game, and today especially 3-0. This one's the worst one for me. 3-0 up, and we had to go to penalties. What is it? All right, we say the subs. We talked about the subs. I'm going to put it out there. I think it's a mentality thing. I think we lack leaders on the pitch. Game management on the pitch. You get the ball, don't you bomb forward. You should have the capability, like you say, with a former world-class player like Casemiro, dominate the game, control the game, dictate the tempo of the game, and play it at a pace where you can see out a game professionally as a team. And you rub off. Senior player, you should be able to rub things off. That's why I think Eriksen was a good substitution. Okay, he's coming on. He's going to keep the ball for us, because if we got the ball, then they can't attack and score. So I think there's something different. It's a mentality thing why we don't keep leads. Open floor. Go ahead, guys, and bump heads if you must.
Well, it can only be 2 things, can't it? It's either that the players crumble, or that the manager doesn't adapt to changes from the other team. Like Agile Beast put a comment in that said they had 1 shot after 55 minutes, or I'll paraphrase it to that, and they finished with roughly 20 shots. Ten Hag didn't really adjust anything, did he? In extra time, I think Rasmus went to number 10, which allowed him to sort of turn on the ball more because he wasn't able to hold it up. But as much as we can say the obvious thing that it's the players crumbling and stuff, I think that equally you have to look at how the team is set up when the enemies make changes. Because Coventry played a 5-4-1 essentially for like 70 minutes, and we were absolutely fine. We always had 2 or 3 men in between the lines. There was always a pass. We were squeezed up. There was absolutely nothing there. And then they started going a bit man for man, and they started pushing up, and we were unable to get out. This could be speaking to what Kahinde said about how an out ball now isn't to a big striker, and it's certainly not to Rasmus Højlund, but there was no way for us to get out and get up the pitch, and there was no sort of security at the back. And from what we know of Ten Hag and how everyone has to do what he says and all these things, it would suggest to me that even though these players are bottling a lot, maybe they're being put in a position to bottle where the setup isn't correct.
I can't accept that. I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I think the players on the pitch should know. If you're playing like training drills, 5-on-5 or something, or small-sided games, and you're doing these passing drills where you're keeping the ball, like count how many passes can we get together? Right, let's get 10 passes before the opposition touch the ball. Things like that should be drilled into your mind. It's like, right,
right.
now we can turn it on.
Monday. I understand, but Casemiro, right, has won a shitload of stuff. As a Brazil captain and stuff. You can't tell me that Casemiro doesn't understand that he's in a position where he doesn't want to be, that he's uncomfortable, not just at centre back, but like in midfield and things. Like, there's a lot of experienced players out there who have been put into positions they don't want to be in, and I think that if the players were allowed to solve the problems on the pitch, I can't imagine that Casemiro and Maguire, and I mean, I think against Wolves where Kobe Mainoo scored a winner, like to stop us throwing a game away late, we had so many men forward at a corner kick with both centre halves in the box with 3 or 4 minutes left to go. I think if you ask those players if that's what they would want to do, they'd be like, of course not. We want to be like defending deep and things. So that's why I think it's a managerial instruction. Do you disagree with this?
I'm going to pass this on to Kehinde. Kehinde,
Okay.
you know what I have to say. I don't want to go back and forth. But, have you heard what I've got to say, Kehinde, about this? I think it's a mentality thing. I think it's got nothing to do with the manager so much. I just think the players don't have any leaders out there. Someone to go during the week on Wednesday we were doing a training drill where we were keeping the ball from our opponents in a small-sided game. Why can't we just go back to that and just keep the ball for a minute and take the pressure off us? I think it's to do with that. No one's out there saying, right, let's slow it down, let's pop it around. I saw Ericsson and Ahmad on the pitch who do sort of play that sort of touch pass, keep the ball kind of thing really well. And we still can keep the ball. We'll go to someone who doesn't keep the ball and suddenly it's gone. No leaders, no ideas out there, no one to take control of the game. That's my opinion today. You agree with me?
I do, yeah, to an extent. But I feel that like you have to analyze your team, all your players' strengths and weaknesses. That's what I'm saying. I had to do that when I was managing my academy. I had to play 3-5-2 because I didn't have the right players to play the formation that I wanted. So I had to look at the players' weaknesses and help protect certain players in certain areas. And that's just what Ten Hag is not doing. I read a lot about Ancelotti, like how he kind of gives his players lead, or he had asked his players for advice about what positions, what should we do, what positions should we do, and everything else like that. And the players put their input about, yeah, maybe I should play here. Because if he was to do that in the dressing room and ask Wan-Bissaka where you most comfortable playing, he'll say, oh, I'll go right back, please. And they'll like, yeah, I'll go left back. But Ten Hag's, he's got this thing where I think he's rubbing players the wrong way. He's very like disciplined, and he sets out instructions, and it's like his way or the highway. But he has to kind of adapt now and look at what's going wrong, strengths and weaknesses. We don't have any leaders in the team, so if we don't do that, we need to just protect certain areas in the pitch to make our players look better. What are we good at the moment? It's just really counter-attacking football at the moment, isn't it? We don't have we're not good at seeing out the game management, keeping them. So if we're only good at counter-attack, why are we taking our best counter-attacking player off, which was Gacho?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's just things like that. These small details, they make big difference. Big difference in the games. And so I put it more on the manager because he has to analyze the players a bit more and adapt to them.
Okay, fair enough. Dora, do you agree with that? Because it's the manager, but like I was saying before, surely the manager would expect better from his players. Because Kehinde's blaming the manager. I'm not. I'm just saying the players are just not transferring what they've been taught in training onto the field and in situations. I would say you need to be a complete club and to be the total package. You need to do drills when you're on the back foot, do drills in certain situations. Right, we're up, let's keep the ball, do drills like that, and then transfer them into game time when you're in that situation. I just feel we're sort of one-dimensional. We don't know how to adapt. Like Bath Time said, when the opposition had changed their things up, obviously they had to go for it. So they went to a back four, and then obviously there's another guy further up the pitch that we had to deal with, and suddenly we started to crumble. So what are your thoughts on this? You've heard the Bath Time, you've heard myself, you heard Kehinde. What is it that we keep giving away the lead and we keep throwing it away, or kind of, so the common term now is bottling it? What's the problem there?
I mean, it's a collective effort, right? I mean, the players need to get their heads out of their asses and actually play like human beings. And I know it sounds harsh, but at times it feels like I'm watching puppets on the pitch. And it's always from the senior players. It's always from the likes of Casemiro. It's always the likes from Rashford, who, by the way, I he was one of my favorite players in the Manchester United shirt, but this season I just cannot. I would take him myself over the La Manche channel, and I would get him to Paris, and he would be there, and I will sell him. I just can't. Like, in all honesty, I just don't want to bother with these kind of players who are, consistently doing the same thing all over again, and they're not doing anything with it. I think it's a collective effort. I think the players need to take the accountability and start playing normally. But on the other side, you have manager who obviously didn't how do you say it, put down his philosophy right, because he like everyone is saying, that 60th minute is where Coventry started chasing the game. They started pressuring us, and we should have, and we kind of put removed our foot out of the gas and started being more pragmatic. We were trying to keep the possession, remove the ball from them, and try to build something, and keep the ball with us and all that, waste time essentially, right? Or keep the ball safe, whatever. I just feel like these players cannot do it because they're not coached. When Maguire gets the ball and the Coventry players are attacking him, pressuring him, he needs a player that he's going to be across him, make a triangle or whatever on the pitch, so they can keep that ball and remove the ball from dangerous areas and kickstart it again, or maybe build up something from the back and try to create something in front of their goal, break their press and attack them once again. But I feel these players are not coached enough, or they're just coached enough to do it. They don't know where to stand. They're just flinging the ball everywhere. They are even to I like Amadiallo. I feel that he should have started more this season instead of Anthony and what's his face, Rashford. However, even when we had that counterattack, he's not passing it to Bruno. He's keeping the ball too long. The same goes with Garnacho. He's keeping the ball too long. Rashford, is consistently running into 5 players. And if he's smarter and he's not, he takes away. He pulls in 5 Coventry players at him, and he passes it to someone else who is all alone, and he scores a goal. But he doesn't have an IQ to do it, or he doesn't want to
do
pass.
that. What's that mean?
I don't know what. I don't know.
It should be a gun.
I mean, that's all you. That's all you.
A water pistol.
Yeah, of course. But it's a collective effort. The players, it feels like all knowledge, like they're lost on the pitch. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to play, pragmatic as it seems. They only know how to run, and defend as a collective unit, as 11. Even then, they don't know how to defend. It feels like a collective effort, and to me, that's why Ten Hag has lost the locker room. He doesn't have the authority because players don't trust him. And in all honesty, I don't trust him as well, because he came into this league and it feels like he is consistently trying to do something. He's trying to recreate that. He tried to recreate that glory from Eredivisie and from Ajax, and it simply doesn't work because, first, as you guys said it, we don't have players to do it because we have 2 tractors, John Deere Ferguson tractors, in the middle of the pitch and in the defense. And on the other side, it's just he's naive. Even Luton Town, Nottingham Forest, the teams that are fighting for relegation, they outrun us in the midfield, and he still doesn't do anything. He doesn't put another body in that midfield. He doesn't. So it's a collective effort. I want this team to be purged in the summer. 80% of them can go. I wouldn't bet an eye, in all honesty, but I want someone who is going to put something in this squad and put some fundamentals and see in them and create something simple but good. So I don't have to watch every single game a gaping black hole in that midfield, because that part of our game has been one of the worst that I've seen as a United fan. Even during I don't think we were that bad during the David Moyes era with the way we play. Sometimes it was that bad. There's just no midfield. I've been a Manchester United fan since 2006, since I was a little kid, and this is probably the worst Manchester United team that I've seen in so many years, and it's baffling to me. Baffling.
Guys, is this the worst Man United team that you've seen in so many years? I disagree. We came third last season, Dora. We won a cup last season. We're in another cup final. There could be an argument, and there could be good debate here. All right, Agile Beast is saying here we are good at massaging Rashford's ego. We have the standards of the mid-table championship team, says Andrew Williams. Simon Warner saying here, reading the right act doesn't always help at halftime. The players still do the opposite of what the manager says. Here's some score ratings. There you go. You can have a good look at that. Do we remember we scored the other day? So a 2 from Rashford and a 2 from Haaland. Zico, Kahinde, what does a 2 mean in your ranking? If 5 is average, we've done this the other day. What's a 2?
It's poor, isn't it?
Okay, cool. Going on to more comments here. We've got Big G saying, Andy, 2 for Maguire. He was United's best player, mate. I agree. Bruno kept the ball too long on several counter-attacks today himself, as well as Diallo, as Dora was saying. During the Fergie era, when you saw a United game, our players had all the talent on the pitch to seal the win. We had much better players then. Ollie and Rude were game finishers. All right, and he's lost the changing room. He's lost the locker room. We don't call it locker rooms over here. That's DK Wilson influence, isn't it? What do we call it over here? It's change room, isn't it? We say change room. Bath time. Yeah. All right.
Hello.
I'm coming to you with this one because we're going to wrap it up very soon. I want you just to tell me about the Garnacho situation, because during the week, he apologized, which is a good sign. He apologized for liking a post, which sort of suggested that he was wrong to come off the pitch or something like that. He came off the pitch again, and you can see him muttering, what's going on in his head? What's he trying to show there? And he did shake the manager's hand when he came off the pitch, but he's showing he's disappointed. Is that a good thing to do? Should he be more professional? Or is he right to sort of highlight that he feels he could do more and he thinks he should be staying on the pitch? Because not so long ago, he's just coming in the side. Now, all of a sudden, he must feel he's a first teamer.
I mean, I think of the front three, Garnacho was the least poor today. I still disagree with everyone. I thought that he didn't get the ball in enough. He didn't make enough use of the ball when he had it and stuff. But I can't disagree that Rasmus and Rashford were far worse. In particular, Rashford, who treated that as if it was an exhibition game in the first half. And I don't put a huge deal of stock in how players react when they go off, because you're playing a game of football, you're very angry, you're full of adrenaline and all sorts of sort of chemicals going on in the brain and stuff like that. So, but the thing is that he didn't shake the manager's hand. The manager went to shake his hand, and I felt today, I said this to Zora actually at half time. I think that those three forwards, Garnacho, Rasmus, and Rashford, they hate each other. They hate playing with each other. And on a day where Bruno, I think Andrew said earlier that Bruno was holding on to the ball too much. One of Bruno's big problems that we've been through is the inability to carry the ball and stuff like that. And it looked like he was trying that today, but wasn't quite getting it off. But the only guy who's making chances for them three is Bruno, or maybe Delo or someone. I think that Garnacho will have felt that although he didn't set the world alight, the performance of Rasmus Højlund against the championship team was abysmal. It was like a parody of everything we've said in terms of holding the ball up and stuff. He got munched. And I mean, to be fair, Garnacho got munched more than anyone else in the first half and the second half. But I think you look at Rashford, like our owner today, or our minority owner, or whatever it is, at 71 years of age, ran a marathon. He put in more distance today than Marcus Rashford did. unquestionably. And then he turned up to watch Rashford wandering around picking daisies up. And I think that Garnacho he'll think Anthony is a bollocks, right? Anthony's not very good at football, like compared to the rest of them. And he'll think that Rashford doesn't put the effort in. And he'll see Højlund, like people used to say Harry Maguire had a head like a 50p piece because it bounced everywhere. Like, I mean, Rasmus Højlund is like a Rubik's cube. There's so many sort of angles and sides to him where the ball bounces off. So I think that Garnacho will be really livid because he'll think it's undeserved that he's going off, and he didn't want to go off. No. So that would be my take on it. But I'm interested in others' opinions.
Guys, on this point, because the next topic we'll be discussing is just a yin and yang. Dora, do you want to add anything to that point from bath time about coming off and showing that sort of attitude? You said, you did actually. You mentioned this earlier, didn't you? You said you don't like it from Garnacho.
I mean, I don't. When it comes to coming off the pitch, right? Mostly the players are frustrated with themselves, and maybe with the way they played. They maybe feel that they should have done better. Maybe at that moment he felt he should have done better. My problem with him is, but that's not him this game only. I think during the game you could clearly see again, they are, waving hands, yelling at each other. You need to cover this guy, Rasmus. I clearly remember in that first half, Rasmus Højlund yelling at the Garnacho, cover this guy, cover this guy, cover this guy on the right when they were in the face of defense. The other time, McTominay is also yelling at Garnacho as well in those same 5 minutes to order or to tell him to cover that guy, because that the left back or Coventry was just wandering around doing all alone, and Rashford is he's not even an enigma. Like, I wish I earned that much money and not doing even a bare minimum and knowing that I wouldn't get sacked by the end of the day. And you know what? This is going to be his. I think maybe this is first maybe a season where the fans already are turning their back on him. They don't believe in him that much with the whole attitude stuff and strolling around and his poor performances. But I think even the owners are not that dumb enough. Like, I think even the commercial aspect of his image is not going to save him at this club, because if he continues like this, he's not going to we will not get a big money for him, and he, in my opinion, won't do anything special. Højlund, he is young, he's probably going to but it's just my problem is that in-game attitude, everyone is yelling at each other, everyone is pointing fingers at each other, but they are collectively all at fault for not doing well. They're not attacking well. They're selfish with the ball. It's just, I don't care about coming off. I just feel like his whole thing, like, you are a 19-year-old kid. You need to chill out. That's my opinion. Like, you think you made it, but you didn't made it. You need to chill out. And that's my point. Like, I love the passion. I'm a passionate girl myself. I like really? the willingness to, to want something, to be the best and all that. But sometimes you need to and he's young, he will probably learn it. But in this situation, when the club is playing poorly, when the team is playing poorly, it's not a good look on him. And I honestly, personally, don't like it as well, seeing it on him. It looks really ugly.
Okay, guys, you can see the comments. Realist Cavs, how you doing? Says, what's Ahmed done to deserve this treatment? All right, we're going to play a game of yin and yang. Kahinda, I'm going to come to you first. Yin and yang. What's the good and the bad of today going forward? I mean, you can speak about a lot of things. You can speak about we're in the final. You can speak about, we've got injuries, players coming back from injury. We can speak about the opportunity to get into Europe. You can look at the bad thing that happened, the performances, the morale. You can talk about individual players, but give me a yin and a yang about Manchester United right now, today, on the 21st of April.
Right, so the good thing is that we're through. I'm relieved, because if we didn't make it, oh my gosh, I think Ten Hag would be out. It would be the most embarrassing result ever. And just to touch on that, I think Ten Hag has to get 9 points to avoid this being our worst Premier League season ever.
How many games?
So, how many
5
games are remaining? 5 games is there?
Okay. So the good news is that we're through. Okay, what about the bad news?
Yeah, so I'm relieved. The bad is that obviously the game management and letting them come back, letting the team at Coventry come back.
What about players? What about players today? Name me a player today that's bad that you're not happy with.
I think Casemiro, because I was really annoyed with his penalty as well.
Yeah.
I just think, what the F are you doing? Seriously, like, what the hell was that? You saw Bernardo Silva midweek, and I don't know if that was distracted because of the ball coming from the crowd or something, but that's not how you take a penalty. What I don't understand what he was doing. Like,
how do you take a penalty?
For me, it's always get good contact on the ball, try and hit low and bottom corners, because that's the hardest for the keepers to get. Yeah. Hit it hard, low, and in the corner. Keepers, you do it that right, the keeper's not gonna have a good chance to save it. So I don't know. Like, it's literally like you could have put a washing machine there and it would have hit the washing machine. You know, that's how bad it was. You hit it straight at the keeper. It's really embarrassing.
All right. All right. Let's move. Well, I'm going to come to you last, Dora. Yin and yang, bath time. Could be anything. Could be a player's performance today. Could be the club in general. Just what's going on, man? Give me a yin and yang.
One thing that I really liked was Amari Forson. I know no one rates him apart from me, but I thought he did well in extra time, particularly defending transitions. He put just enough pressure on Haji Wright when Wright dragged that shot wide, and he ran. He did a huge amount of running. So I was quite pleased to see him doing all right. I'm also really impressed with Jim Ratcliffe running a marathon. Like I am. I think that's absolutely great. Like if you can run a marathon, put one in chat, because that man is in his 70s. I'm sorry, I've just got this big hand coming towards me there, like the National Lottery years ago. All right. I don't know, what is Yang bad? Is Yin bad? Well,
it's balanced.
Whichever one.
So we played poor, but we got to the final. It's balanced. So
all right. I think like you have to look at that front three and the substitutions and say that is really bad. Like even it doesn't matter who the opposition are, right? The front three were dreadful. Right. And they didn't gel, they didn't dovetail, and to be honest, I think that at least one of them has to go, which would be Rashford. And I'm pleased to announce that I am bringing my Wan-Bissaka agenda into its second year after another ridiculous display at Wembley. So that's good. But the good thing is that we're in a final and we can dream, I suppose.
Just quickly, bath time before I move to Dora. So how do you fix? You said about the front three. You've mentioned that a lot during the show. How would you fix it with what's available for the rest of the remainder of the season? And we've got to beat Man City in the final now. So how would you fix it? What player? Was it players? Would you change the positioning of them?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'd do.
One more point. I saw a post the other day saying last season when Rashford was scoring all his goals, he was kind of more central. They're blaming the manager, saying the manager's playing him wide, too wide these days, and he can't get into those positions where he's dangerous, sort of off left kind of thing. I don't know how true it is. I didn't really study it.
I mean, right, I'm on day. Bruno and McTominay, when they have bad games, you still get running, competitiveness, work rate, all this stuff. Like it doesn't matter if Rashford is inside, outside, central. You don't get enough from him when he doesn't score. So what I would do is I'd keep Højlund up front. I'd move Garnacho to left wing. And I believe that would also mean we could move Delo to left back and maybe be a bit more secure. But although I wasn't impressed again with Amad Diallo, I think we've got to give him 4 to 5 games, work out if he's a Man United player or not, and then either give him a new contract and play him or sell him. and that would be one of my targets for the end of the season.
I agree with you. Dora, do you agree with that? Like, do you need to get a run of games before we can really assess him? We haven't had time. We haven't had the time on the playing field to judge Ahmad. I feel give him a run of games, consecutive amount of games. And we could do that now. Don't you think we can afford to do that with the remaining games? It doesn't really matter. Are we really going to get fourth place? Probably not. So, and your yin and yang as well, please, if you don't mind.
Well, we are in the FA Cup final. Woo! So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I sighed in relief as the players have as well, because you could clearly see only Ericsson came and patted Rasmus on the back, and Onana was a bit with the fans, but the rest of them, they know how bad they were, and I hope that they will use that embarrassment and that shame and focus it on that Manchester City game and turn it into something absolutely amazing. Because even though I'm critical, like I will be absolutely happy if we win against City, fraudulent City. And you know what? I will give kudos to the players and to Ten Hag if we win the trophy. That's my positive. The other thing is, I agree with the Amad Diallo point. I think that he should. We don't fight for anything in the league anymore. I don't think we can catch up with Spurs, with Newcastle, or whoever is in front of us. I think we should use it to reevaluate some of the players, especially the younger ones that are still kind of on the fence, like Amad Diallo, who in my opinion didn't get enough chances, especially this season. This season, when you have wingers that are colossally bad, like Anthony and Rashford, and even Sancho, if you want to account him as well, we got rid of him. But just just put him on that right side, see what he can do, see if he is more productive, and bring back Arancho on the left, see what he can cook there. Yeah. It will be I think it will be beneficial, not just for the team, but for Amad Diallo as well, because he's still young. Like, just don't drag him out. If you don't want to play him, just sell him and let the kid go somewhere else. And yeah, but yeah, I'm happy that we are in the FA Cup final. It's just this game is just so frustrating. It's the way these players are presenting themselves, and the manager is making the same mistakes, and hopefully we turned it around in the final.
All right, so going into the FA Cup final against Man City, is this going to be one of the biggest upsets if we do win? And can we win? That's the question I want to know within the next 5 weeks, because I look about great upsets. I remember Sunderland beat Leeds, the great Leeds in the early 70s. You had Wimbledon beating the mighty Liverpool in 88 as well. And then I think in recent years, didn't we have Wigan win the FA Cup as well against maybe Arsenal? City. Was it Man City or Arsenal?
Yeah, against City.
Do you think it compares to that? Because if you look at the league table, Man City are miles ahead of us, maybe 20 odd points. Surely it's got to be like the story of the underdogs if we can beat them. And can we actually beat Man City? Can we put a strategy in place to actually beat them? Have we seen teams sort of try a little something against them this year? They're 5 years into their plan, 5-6 years into the plan. Surely teams now will have some kind of strategy of how to play Man City and how to be effective against them. Can we do it? In a word, guys, can we beat Man City? Is it realistic?
Monday, we have literally just squeaked by Coventry on penalties. It's really not the time to be asking if we can beat a team that won the treble last season, like in an FA Cup final. To be completely honest, but yes, we can. Of course, we can beat them, but it will be unlikely.
All right, Dora, can we beat them?
As I said, FA Cup is a cup. It's a tournament. The form goes out of the window. The quality goes out of the window sometimes. I think that we could catch City on their bed. They're not invulnerable. They're not inevitable. They're not Thanos. But yeah, I think I just want players to care. Just put if we lose, and the players do everything that they can, leave every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears on that pitch, I wouldn't be mad. I don't want to see, like last season, Marcus Rashford having thrown around the pitch in that FA Cup final. We all remember it. It was embarrassing. I want him to score a hat-trick in that FA Cup final. Not just
massive game. Massive game for us.
Massive game. Not just for, it's against City, but for the individual players as well. And for Ten Hag, of course. So, yeah, it will be, I just hope that will happen. You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe
Simon Warner saying here, the final's about bragging rights. Kinde, I'm going to turn your mic on for a quick second. Can we beat City?
Yes. And it's a one-off game.
All right, that's enough from you. Because your mic is terrible. I just wanted a yes. Your microphone is really bad. Just wanted a yes or no, because we got to fix that problem. Okay.
All right, we're watching.
Anyone mime? See what he's saying? What's he saying to me?
He said Barcelona versus Real Madrid is starting in a couple of minutes.
We're going to tune into that, guys. No doubt about it. Big up Kinde. Thanks for coming on. Big up Dora as well. Big up to everyone in the comments. I've been reading the comments we're going through. People are still a bit angry about the result and the way we played and everything. But we're in the final. That's the main thing. Let's end on a positive, innit, guys? We're going to sign out. Bath time. You are doing a show tomorrow. Did you quickly plug it?
Yeah, me and Monday tomorrow with maybe Doncaster Rovers ex-captain Barry or Tabrice or Stefan. We'll be looking at defenders and what makes a great centre-back. And it'll be a very interactive show. So if you want to come and talk about why you hate Van Dijk and like where he ranks in all-time players and all that kind of stuff, come and join us for that. And we'll be very pleased to see you.
Okay, thanks, Dora. Thanks, Kahinde. We're going to sign out now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Back to work tomorrow. And like I say, we'll be back at 9 p.m. tomorrow for a show on centre back. So I'm really looking forward to that. Kahinde, make sure you tune in as well, because we can improve ourselves going into next season. You know, maybe me and you, Kahinde, could be the centre back pairing for Sunday League. Let's edge everyone out and let the brothers take control. The brothers of destruction, ain't that right? Give me a high five or give me that big hand that you did earlier. Anyway, we're signing out, guys. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow on the Man United agenda. We're through to the final. Wembley!